Hey, it's Drybear. Now is the best time to get into Wuthering Waves as it just launched and there's a bunch of really important free giveaways that they're giving out right now. So today we're going to talk about all the new giveaways, the compensations they're giving out, and also some characters you might want to target with all your free compensations, and also how to re-roll if you're someone who likes doing that sort of thing. First, beginning with the free giveaways they have in-game, there's a bunch of compensation gifts you'll find in your in-game mail that you'll want to pick up right away. But on top of that, if you log in today and going forward, you should see 20 lustrous tides in your mailbox that you'll be able to use for in-game rolling. So if you're in-game, just go to the escape menu, go down here to mail, and make sure you're clearing out your mailbox. There's a bunch of free giveaways that they're giving out. Now, while the game is very positively received right now, they did have some issues launching, and they're still having some issues with players that are struggling to get the game to work. But because of that, they're allowing people to get the compensation of the lustrous tides and the bonus for the basic. So the basic banner and the new banner as well, the new character banner, are both getting free giveaways for that. But following this update, they had even more to say with this second post, which came out yesterday, which was they posted that they want not only the free giveaway, they're also going to be giving us a free 5-star standard resonator voucher, which means that you get to choose your 5-star standard resonator, and you're going to get the one from the beginner novice banner as well. So that means 2 free 5-star resonators in the game already, plus 10 radiant tides and 20 lustrous tides that you can use to pull for a bunch of free stuff. On top of that, for the people that care a lot, there are going to be a skippable option for all future content in the game. Currently, you can skip most of the story cutscenes and the content, but there's some that you can't. There's some that you can't even skip the audio. You have to let the dialogue play out. You can make the text appear on your screen faster, but you actually have to wait for the dialogue to play out, and you can't even skip the cutscene that follows as well. So they've mentioned that they plan to, going forward and after this next update, they'd like to make all of the story content skippable going forward. So that if you want to just skip the story and focus on endgame and grind and collecting the best characters for your roster, you can do that. Now, if you're wondering how to pull characters, there's going to be a progression of unlocking mechanics in the game as you push forward through the story. You need to finish the first major quest line, which takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how much of the cutscenes you skip. And this will unlock things like being able to use the utility function, which allows you to jump through the air and glide and things like that. But it also will, when you finish Act 1, Chapter 1, you'll unlock the ability to convene, which is your banner summons in Wuthering Waves. This will allow you to go through and access these banners and start summoning characters and weapons. Now, before you start pulling characters in these banners, you're going to want to look at the top choice here, which is your choice convene, and this is only available to brand new accounts that haven't pulled yet. So listed on the left side here under convene, you'll have the normal banner for characters and the normal banner for weapons that you'll have pretty much active all the time, we're presuming. Then there's going to be the event banner for a nice broadsword for GN, and then there's going to be his banner as well up for that, and that's going to require a specific kind of drop. It's going to be these lustrous tides, forging tides for the weapon, and then the lustrous tides, the radiant tides for the GN pull. And he is currently the best character for DPS in the game right now, so getting him is going to be a high priority for a lot of people. However, when you first log in, you will have this choice convene, which is a limited time offer for new accounts, and you want to make sure you clear this. So on this account here, which I will be making another one to do some testing for pulls, but on this account right now, I have cleared out the novice choice convene, which evolves into the beginner's choice convene, which is about the same as the normal banner. It just has the ability to choose which 5-star you get. However, before you start pulling, this is what your convene will look like at the very top. So this is how it's going to look before you start convening and pulling and drawing any of the summons in the game. This is what you'll have available, and you do want to clear this out. This is by far your best option for getting new unlocks for your account, and after 50 pulls, this one will go away and evolve into the beginner. But this is the novice convene. This has a base of every 10 gives you a guaranteed at least 1 4-star above item, and every 50 convenes, you'll get guaranteed a 5-star character. So this is the first 5-star resonator you'll get in the game, is by completing the novice convene, and this actually only uses the base form lustrous tides that you get by completing quests and walking around the world and fighting monsters, that sort of thing. So you want to clear this out. You want to run 10 of them 5 times. However, it's also on a 20% discount, which means that every 10 that you buy, it will cost you 8 instead of 10, which means you're not spending 50 lustrous, you're spending a lot less. 2 times 5 would be 40 total, right? So you get 40 cost of 40 lustrous for 10 times 10. You get cost of 40 for 50 total convenes on this, and it guarantees your first 5-star on top of that. So add this 5-star that you get randomly to the choice 5-star that we're going to get from their bonus giveaway. Means that you're going to get 2 5-star resonators off the bat, and by the time you draw both of them, you'll probably hopefully have at least 1 5-star weapon and maybe 2 to 3 4-star weapons that you can use for various characters. So you want to make sure you clear out the Novice Convene with the in-game lustrous tides. Make sure you get the 5-star free from the Novice Convene, get the extra 5-star free, which they'll be adding to the game at a later date, and make sure you collect all of the lustrous tides and of the higher level tides, the GN tides that you'll get in your mailbox as compensation for that as well. Now let's talk about the best resonators that you're going to want to focus getting for their just general power and usage. If you're someone who's new to gacha style games like this, generally rarity is a big difference in how powerful the character is, and there's also just going to be a efficacy tier list, and that's usually pretty much set in stone. And how you combine them together, at least in Wuthering Waves, is actually better than most gacha games out there, because you have the ability to have swap in and out mechanics. You also have the echoes that you can combine with the character. So there are a lot of different team comps you can make, but let's talk about the characters that you'll have available for your 5-star drops, especially your choice resonator that you'll get for free, and what you might want to focus on. Now you have a team of 3 resonators that you use as part of your setup, and you want to have 3 different roles in that group that you'll want to fulfill, and it'll help you decide which of the 5-star and 4-star resonators you're going to try and target from the drops. The first one is going to be your damage dealer. This is going to be the most important resonator in your group, in your party, and they're the ones that will be out on the field most of the time doing a lot of the damage, because they have either a really strong damage window. Some of the resonators have strong damage windows for their ultimate, and some just have tons of damage most of the time. There's a lot of great examples of these that you'll want to pick through. The second character you'll want to have in your party is going to be your synergy character. This is a character that has a lot of bonuses when you swap to and from them. So there are outro and intro resonance skills that the resonators will do, and some of them are so powerful because they allow you to do bonus attacks when you swap to a new character, or they increase the elemental damage of a specific element for a new character, or they give you bonus damage, bonus crit, all kinds of different bonuses that you'll get. So you kind of want to switch to your synergy character, pop all their abilities, get everything on cooldown, get all your buffs rolling, and then switch back to your main damage dealer character that will benefit from all those bonuses. And there's a lot of really good synergy characters in the game that have this. You want to minimize their time on the field because they're going to focus on buffing, but once you have those buffs up, you can switch back to your main DPS and get all the benefit out of it. The third type that you'll want to focus on is having a support character. Most of the time, this is a healer that will allow you to raise the health of you and all of your characters in your party. However, there are some supports that give things like raising up your resonance meter, giving you more ultimate abilities that you can activate more often, or they have tons of other things that can be super useful in general. So those are the 3 roles you're going to want to fill in Wuthering Waves: a main DPS, a sub DPS / synergy character, and then a support character. So from the characters that you can choose, you'll have these 5 main 5-stars that you'll be looking for, and we'll talk about the 4-stars in a second, but these are the ones you'll want to look at. Jin is actually one of the best support characters or synergy characters in the game. She actually has amazing synergy with a lot of other arrow characters and some other bonuses as well. So when you're looking at this character, Jin, she is insanely good for that. So if you want to fill that synergy style specialization, you'll want to pick her up as a 5-star, and that's kind of it for the synergy here in this selection. The other role that you'll fill is going to be support is Verena. Verena is probably the best support in the entire game. So if you want to target having a solid support, like if you get Verena in your party and you get her awakened a couple times, like you actually go through and you get her extra bonuses here, her resonance chains, she has some insane bonuses, and she's easily the best support character that you can have right now, and she fits in basically every single party. So if you want a very simple choice for the 5-star resonator you want to pick up, Verena is a great choice. She fits in every party, and she will beat out the other 2 or 3 quality support characters in the game right now, so you want to pick her up and use her right away. The other 3 choices here, Calcharo, Ling Yang, and Encore, are all main DPS focus. They excel exceptionally at doing that role. The only downside here is that Ling Yang is unfortunately quite subpar at this. He's probably the worst 5-star in the game right now. He still can be useful. His choice for party members is very narrow. He actually parties really well with Jin Jin as a synergy character, so you could get Ling Yang, Jin Jin, and Verena if you had all 5 stars, but if your only choice is getting 1 5-star, Ling Yang is probably the worst out of all 5 of these choices. He has decent damage windows, his basic attacks are pretty good, and when his damage window is open, he's okay compared to the others, but he just falls short overall. And if you have a choice, I would say that the other 2 characters here, Calcharo and Encore, are probably the best damage dealing characters, main DPS characters you can get in the game right now, aside from the one banner character that we have, which is Ji Yen, which is easily the best character in the game for DPS, but he's a lot harder to get because it's going to have this unique Radiant Tide pull for the banner. So as far as the characters you'll be getting for free, you want to focus Calcharo or Encore for DPS. They're about the same. Encore is a little bit harder to use properly because she requires animation cancels to use correctly. And then if you want a good synergy character, Jin Jin is awesome for this. And then Verena is the all-rounder. She works in support role for any party, so it's probably their safest choice. But if you wanted to get one of these, I would highly recommend getting one of these first 3. Jin Jin for synergy, Calcharo for damage, and then Verena for support for focusing. So if you're making your account and rolling the 2 free 5-stars you'll get, you'll want to aim at these 3, but Encore is also fine for that. My account got Ling Yang, and I'll probably be re-rolling for that as well. You also have your main base character as an excellent damage dealer as well. So you want to focus on picking that up as a backup. You can use your Spectro main character as a slot in for main DPS until you get one of those better ones like an Encore or a Ji Yen. One of those would fit better, but if you have to, you can use your main character as they serve as a perfect DPS damage dealer. For synergy, one of the best, if not the best in the entire game is actually going to be Mortefi. He's insanely good. The amount of time he needs to be on the field to do what he does is minimal. If you end up getting some of the higher actives for him, this actually makes his synergy even stronger. So he's easily the best synergy character you can have out of all the choices in the game. So definitely look towards picking up as synergy. He also works really well with GN in general. You can also pick up Bai Zhe, which is actually one of the best support characters in the game. She has some nice heals, some nice support. She plays from a good distance as well, and she's easy to swap in and out, though her gameplay is a little bit stranger, and she does use the Resonators type weapon, so it's a little bit different, but she fits into that support role really well. And actually so does Yang Yang. She's another great healer, another great support character that you can have. You can even run her in synergy if you wanted to. She has a little bit of benefit there. And also when you're first starting out in the game, before you've pulled anything or done any convenes, you can actually make a very solid team by running your main character, your Rover, plus a Bai Zhe for support and a Yang Yang for synergy, or vice versa, depending on how you build them and which of the echoes that you use. Chixia is actually not the best. She does slot in decently for synergy if you wanted to use her, and she's an okay slot. But personally for me, I'd actually rather have more uptime on my Rover and run Bai Zhe and Yang Yang if you're running just the initial starter characters that you'll get as part of the story. Outside of that, the remaining 4 stars that are worth getting are going to be Danjin and Sanhua are the 2 DPS. Like Danjin is insanely good at DPS, and Sanhua is an awesome choice for synergy. The rest of the 4 stars, I would honestly stay away from investing too much into unless you're the kind of person that just likes playing characters you like and get as far as you can kind of thing. Like Taoki, super slow, too much defense. It doesn't really provide too much on the synergy front. Alto's kind of in the same boat. He does okay in synergy, but he's easily outscaled by even the starter characters like Bai Zhe or Yang Yang even filling into that slot, or even Mortefi, who's insanely good at synergy. Alto is kind of just like a very diet, basic, worse version of Mortefi in a lot of ways. Now, if you're new to gacha games and re-rolling your account, it is a little bit cumbersome if you want to try and get more or a different choice out of the free rolls you're going to get. You actually do need to make a brand new account with a different email address to roll through that same progress. And you'll need to go through the opening sequence of the game, going to the main first town and unlocking convening in order to use up all those free resources you've been given to see if you get different rolls. But remember, for each account, you will be able to get 2 free 5-star Resonators, and along that process, you will get a couple 4-star weapons and hopefully at least 1 5-star weapon as well, and then some chances at rolling the GN banner. So some people, if you're metagaming or min-maxing, you may want to make accounts until you get a good starting point for your account. But if you don't care that much, or you just get the characters that you want, you can just keep rolling and hope that RNG is in your favor as you go forward. If you found value in today's video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people, and don't forget to check out my other channels for other content and other stuff and other things.